See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Alcohol, right.
Now, to start things off, Towns is definitely going to open up this offense, particularly for Jalen Brunson. As in year 2 with the Knicks, we've seen Brunson's pull-up game go up to a whole new level. Whether he was coming off of dribble handoffs from Hartenstein, he had the step back, shooting off the jab step and triple threat, also having no hesitation for when defenders go right under screens to pull up and shoot. This helped Brunson carry the offensive load, with Julius Randle being down and the Knicks not necessarily having that second scorer. The pick and roll game between him and Hartenstein was a beautiful thing to watch. But now the Knicks have Karl-Anthony Towns, who for a career average shoots about 40% from 3, which is one of the best in the league. It's also going to make that pick and roll as deadly as the Embiid-Maxey combination. As right here, for example, Maxey, defenders don't want him to turn right here because of his speed. Brunson, very similar to Maxey, when he goes downhill and gets to his mid-range game around the free throw line, it's pretty much automatic for him at times, especially with his floater game. Teams don't want him to get down there. But now having Karl-Anthony Towns on the team, a very similar pop out like Embiid right here could occur. But teams are going to have to pick their poison. It's either Cat's going to pop out for open 3, or teams are going to have to deal with Brunson dribble penetration, easily breaking down defenses for his own offensive creativity, or dishing out corner 3s to Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby. And also, Karl-Anthony Towns, being that front-facing player who can not only shoot, he's good at driving past players, getting that first step on them. But just him being that threat is going to open things up for Brunson and his off-ball movement. As we're going to see Maxey right here, nice little cut and catches OG lacking. But it's going to open up plays for Brunson to move like that off-ball, because with all the injuries we had last season, we didn't really get to see him kind of get into that bag that he had it out in Dallas with Luka. And just Luka being that guy that draws a lot of attention, Brunson was able to not only move off ball and cut, he also got into his catch and shoot bag, which is something that he definitely has. We just really didn't get to see a lot of it due to the circumstances the team had with injuries last season. So this trade for the Knicks definitely opened up the possibilities of Brunson having a more versatile game on the offensive end. And here's another great example right here. I know you guys wonder why the fuck am I using the Maxey and B combo, but they definitely have the nastiest pick and roll, them along with Murray and Jokic. But right here, this angle, I just want to show you guys them running pick and roll. This could be OG or Mikal right here. So this will compromise defenses because they don't want Towns to shoot this open 3 from here. They don't even want him rolling because he's pretty agile going downhill. But also with Brunson, he has the nasty pull-up 3 he can utilize right here, or he could dribble penetrate and get downhill himself while Towns pops out. So a guy in Hart's position, let's say in reverse going against the Knicks, he would be kind of compromised right here because this could be OG or Mikal sitting right here. So you see, Towns could hit this jumper also, but look at the assist. And this is another thing about Towns. He's going to have to get more comfortable making these type of passes, because I'm not going to lie, last season in the playoffs, you can see he had issues sometimes operating as the roll man, making the initial passes. And just to piece this all together, here's a couple examples of Karl-Anthony Towns showing his mobility, just being able to get that first step on defenders and attack the lane quickly going downhill. He's not fast going side to side, but going downhill, he's pretty quick for a big man to get that first step. Very similar to a prime Carmelo Anthony. Had that quick first step, but defending guys from side to side, his legs really didn't look as sturdy. So we're seeing his ability to get that first step on defenders. And when you add on top of that Brunson's pull-up 3 in that possible pick and roll game with Towns, along with Brunson being able to go downhill and finish, a lot of what we seen last year with Hartenstein, him just getting to his sweet spots in the paint and having a lot of games in which he scored 30+ points, not necessarily coming from 3-point shots. Most of that came from him getting to his sweet spots in the paint. But you begin to see a deadly combination of teams having to deal with a Karl-Anthony Towns Brunson pick and roll. And teams just dealing with them two is only the beginning of that action. What about Mikal Bridges? As we've seen historically, this guy, he loves moving off ball. He has really good understanding on exactly when to make cuts, and he has really good finishing ability, not only taking it to the rack, but also just all over the paint. Fadeaways, he could do floaters. He's a good finisher with dunks. He could do it all in that paint area. That seems to be his sweet spot also, very similar to Brunson. Again, we're just breaking down the pick and roll between Towns and Brunson to start things off. And we're just going down the list of combination of possibilities between those two, with the pull-up threes from Brunson, or the pop-out threes from Towns, or Brunson penetrating into the lane, getting into his floater game, or Towns attacking closeouts from bigger defenders. And now we're getting into the other actions with Mikal Bridges making his cuts, being able to finish anywhere around the cup, even if he has to get to his fadeaway game around the paint. And for Karl-Anthony Towns, this is where he's going to have that next step up. It's not necessarily going to come from his scoring. He doesn't have to average 30 points a game or even 25 points a game on the Knicks, but he is going to have to start getting his assist up and filling that Hartenstein void of just being a person who can make good decisions in that short roll. When OG or Mikal's making their cuts, could he make that initial pass? Especially if the defense is all drawn up on Brunson coming off that pick. That was a major issue in Minnesota. Not only the young Anthony Edwards, he's not quite there as far as in-game experience going deep into the playoffs with his decision making, because that pretty much was a difference in that Dallas Mavericks series in the Western Conference Finals. And you add on to the fact that Karl-Anthony Towns, in a way, is supposed to be his vet, and he's making the same mistakes in his passing game. This is a true void that the Knicks need Karl-Anthony Towns to fill. Of course, he's going to get his 20 points per game, but he doesn't necessarily have to go into averaging 27, 28, or even 25. If he averages anywhere from 24 points to 20 points a game, but those assist numbers are up, the Knicks should be experiencing more on-court success. And a perfect example of that was Hartenstein in that role last season with much lesser perimeter talent around him. But him just being able to be that guy to make proper screens, understanding which direction Brunson wants to go into, and also making smart decisions in those picks. Sometimes he would ghost the pick and completely roll, and Brunson would hit him off with the bounce pass in between two defenders, and he would go ahead and finish for the dunk. These are the key situations in which we're really going to miss Hartenstein.